That's what self-help books are for.
Oh, look,
Buzz
a visitor.
appearance.
Buzz,
We
if
got a
you're
Buzz
listening,
appearance on the podcast
Buzz,
for our
go check it out at
visual
15
listeners.
minutes on the YouTube channel. Buzz has made an appearance.
Oh, he's
Anyway.
screaming.
Oh,
So this one we'll go over again. The wolf and the crane. You said that the crane needs a ride from the wolf.
something along those lines.
Yeah.
The crane needs help, and the wolf is evil, and he's mean, and the wolf ends up eating him.
Okay. See, it's the opposite. It's
What?
a wolf has a bone stuck in his throat. He hires a crane for a large sum of gold to put her head in his throat and remove the bone. When the crane removes the bone, she demands her reward. The wolf smiles and replies, "Surely you have been given enough reward by me not eating you."
Okay,
That makes
so
sense.
where do wolf get gold from is my first question.
Yeah.
How is he? Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Where's a wolf getting gold? Does he have a day job? Oh, excuse
He's
me.
got a
day
stash,
job?
don't worry.
Is he
But-
stealing gold?
Even if he had gold to give, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How is this a moral? How is this a story that we would teach children and be like, yeah, you should expect this? That's not...
The moral
Yeah.
I'm getting from this is don't help people.
Yeah, don't help anybody because they're not going to be nice to you afterwards.
Yeah, it's like in real life you should help people without expecting a reward. And so in this story, it's basically like everyone is evil. If you help someone, they won't give you anything, and you're lucky they don't hurt you.
Yeah.
Don't help people. Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
All right.
Aesop.
Yeah.
Blank and
Okay,
blank.
now this one is a little more complex because it adds an animal. It's called
my
the
gosh.
lion, the ass, and the fox. Ass being donkey, I imagine.
Yeah. No, I hope so. Aesop was horny in this section. Of the song. Okay. So
That is the lion's ass and the fox.
Yeah. I don't know if I should read
All
this one. PG-13.
PG-13.
So
The moral,
yeah.
is
No, go ahead.
learn from the failures of others.
Okay. I feel like there's this. No, that's got to do with like a sheep crossing a river or something like that. I'm gonna say they're crossing a river, and one does it poorly, and the other does it poorly, and then the last one learns from the mistakes.
That's a good
And-
guess.
Yeah, and then he does it correctly, and his friends die.
Still, I haven't read through all of these because I didn't feel like reading the stories. I just want to
I
read
don't
the
blame you.
morals. So let's read the story together. Or
Okay.
this is a summary. This is not the story, to be clear.
Yeah, God,
This
if you
is,
read the
it
entire.
says story, but it's a summary.
Yeah.
A
Thank God we're
lion.
not reading the entire stories. Good lord.
Yeah, I'm not reading them.
Yeah.
A lion, fox, and ass are all hunting together. They all gathered a huge amount of food and now had to decide how to divide it. The lion asked the ass to divide the food, so the ass chose to divide the portions equally. This made the lion, the king of beasts, angry, and with his paw, he killed the ass. Okay, that doesn't make sense. The lion
Yeah.
then asked the fox to divide the food. The fox wasted no time. He quickly gave a huge heap to the lion and only kept a small portion for himself. The lion asked the fox, "Who taught you to divide so fairly?" The fox replies, "I learned from the ass." That is one of the worst ones I've read today
That's really bad.
because
Also-
that just teaches you to succumb to pressure.
Peer pressure. Yeah, that's the moral of that story. What was the moral you said? No, that was
Learn from the failures of others.
It's terrible.
That is a decent moral with the worst story behind it.
I wish lions were more consistent in Aesop's universe because there's the relatively nice one in The Lion and the Mouse, and this one is just a jerk.
Real ass.
I don't think donkeys eat asses. I don't think they eat meat, by the way. I'm no expert in that.
I wouldn't think so.
But I don't think they eat meat. Have you ever seen a donkey go hunting before? They have teeth made for chewing grass. So
And
I think that's
how are they hunting and being friends, but the lion would snap on a whim like that and kill him for not giving him more food.
yeah,
That doesn't make
and then-
any sense, Aesop.
So you could teach kids to be fair, or not even. That's not what the story's about. You could teach kids to learn from their mistakes in other ways, like a lion fell down and scraped his knee, so he learned not to go run. I don't know
Yeah,
something.
you can make all the
I could
lions
write a
nice.
story with that in 5 minutes probably. That's more. That's just. I guess Aesop's from 350 BC, so he doesn't really know. That's gruesome, and he's also not consistent in his animals. I wish all the animals you could fit them in a puzzle. So it's the lion's in this one and the wolf's in this one.
Yeah,
They're
the
both going
lions
to be
are
jerks to
nice,
each other,
always.
except for
they're
this
not.
one.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Except
they should be all nice. Every animal
think
should be
they'd-
nice.
Because what's the point of it being a lion then at that point?
So the next one is an interesting one because the moral is one that I don't understand at all.
Okay.
But it's one that I think I've heard before. I've heard the title at least. It's called The Gnat and the Bull. And I said it earlier in
Yeah.
the podcast, but it's called The Gnat and the Bull.
I feel like that's familiar to me too.
The moral is you're probably not that important.
Ouch. Okay.
That is
Aesop.
not a moral of a story.
That's not a moral. That's just a depressing, like, probably fact. Yeah. Like, I mean, but so
and the little image at the bottom makes a little more sense, but it's still a little weird. The quote changes and says, "Some men are of more consequence in their own eyes than in the eyes of others."
okay, so that's basically
So it's
saying
being full of yourself.
Yeah, it's like basically you're like some people think they're more important than they are.
Yeah, but boiling it down to you're probably not that important takes the people that are full of themselves and gives them the moral correctly, but takes the people that aren't and tells them that they're shit.
That they're
they aren't worth
worthless,
anything.
Yeah. Well, mental health wasn't as big of a deal in 350 BC as it is now. There was no like Bell Let's Talk for Aesop. Like I think he was just like, I don't care. Like we're all gonna die, aren't we? Aesop seems like he's got a very negative view of the world. Most of these aren't very positive.
Yes.
Like I don't know why you're telling kids these, because like if you're trying to like teach adults this stuff, like don't say it in terms of animals. Like give it real world examples so they can be like, yeah, I'll look out for that. If you're trying to teach people things,
Self-help books.
If you're trying to teach kids these lessons, that's just wrong. Like most of these lessons, kids shouldn't know.
Yes.
Excuse me, I think. So anyway, let's hear the story. I have no idea what this
right.
could be. Maybe the gnat steps on the bull, or the bull steps on the gnat, and then it's like, yeah, you're not important. I don't know.
Okay. A gnat settles down on the horn of a bull. After a while, the gnat decides to fly off. Before leaving him, he asks the bull if it's okay for him to leave. The bull didn't even notice the gnat, so replies, "I don't know you. I did not know you had come, and I shall not miss you when you go away." That is not a story.
Aesop's got to be writing these in 5 minutes. Like he really is riding off the success of the tortoise and the hare. I'm gonna assume that was his first one.
He was in like the Coliseum back then, and he was hitting on a girl, like sitting next to her, right in the Coliseum. He was like, "Hey, he's talking her up. She's not responding too much, but he thinks he's talking her up, right?"
Yeah.
And then
he thinks he's got moves.
He's like, "So you want to hang out sometime?" She turns around and she says, "You talking to me?"
Those exact words. I think I had no idea you were here, and I will not notice when you leave. You are of no consequence.
I did not know you had come, and I shall not miss you when you go away. And he just stands up, walks out, and writes a book about it.
He's like, well, there's some motivation. Man,
that's Aesop's life. Could you imagine if you were subjected to that, where you like had to live life, but everything you had to figure out how to write a story about it?
Yeah, I think Aesop's he's a tragic character. I mean, he existed, but I just think he's honestly a tragic character, because if you take more than a child's like view of this and you think of it like an adult man writing this for, like, I would imagine for children, it's just very sad, you know?
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Yeah.
To see Aesop's talents be wasted.
I don't think he had, I don't know how much talent Aesop had, because those stories aren't that good.